Hey, what's up? Uncle Ash, what's up? Can you hear me?
Trying to speak.
No, I shouldn't see if it was gonna.
Hey, what's up? Uncle Ash, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is okay.
Speak. Oh, it's just us. It's a
No,
practice
it's just
session.
confusing.
Hey, what's up? Okay, brilliant. I thought you were on the phone with Ash actually.
Nothing. Carry on and say what? Life at the party. So yesterday I was having dinner with Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian walked in, and so after he walked in, he found me smoking some crack with Pete Davidson, So I had to put that please pass me my binoculars over there. Huh? What is it? Slide number 454. Okay. Pardon? Yeah, what up? What you want, boy? You want some balls? I'll take you to jail.
Oh shit!
Regenesys, I'm really awakening your potential.
Default is
Step up.
290.
Hold yourself into the
Hey, bro.
future that awaits you.
Shut the fuck up. No, these phones, bro. They're starting to overheat. I don't know what the fuck the problem is. Apparently, there's people complaining as well.
And then what do you think it's going to explode?
I think it's gonna explode, but when it overheats, I know it's charging the battery.
This is exciting news. That
I'll
gives you
return
the
this
opportunity
motherfucker.
to become a Regenesys.
Is it coming through online?
One of the other events. When you refer to prospective students and they successfully enroll at Regenesys, you can get rewards for each referral up to 9,000 rands, depending on the course certificate. You can receive additional rewards for successfully referring more than 6 students each quarter. This additional reward will range between 1,500 and 10,000 rands. Refer students to Regenesys Business School and get rewards. To know more, log on to regenesys.com.
be on the second
Study Bachelor of Laws from South Africa is the Regenesys Law School. The program is specifically designed with a holistic approach, which helps our students develop a deep understanding of legal processes,
Why does it sound like
and
this?
principles
I switched the audio to.
If I switch the audio to thing, then the video is not going to play. I mean, the video
Oh, okay.
audio, because it's internal build.
Oh, it's internal.
Yeah. Default is
Good day, everybody. Today we're going to talk about. Please work. Oh.
Sound check. One, two, three, four. Finish. Good evening, everybody. Seems we are A-OK. Sound check. One, two, three, four. This is a medical signing out of the sound check. I'm still audible. Sound check. I think there was buzzing noise. Sound check. One, two, three, four. This is the sound check of Genesis Open 2020. And name is the 10 hosts. Greetings.
Yo, gentlemen, let's switch mics and test with this one. My boys, can you hear me? Mic test 1 2 1 2. Open day 2023 is perfect. Okay, cool, nice, like a chance. Thank you so much, gentlemen. How's it, guys? Good to see you. Nah, you have to. I must tell you guys jokes. Yo, Siko, do you wanna hear a funny joke?
ladies and gentlemen. Can you all hear me? You can't hear me. Let's. If the sound won't come to me, I must go to the sound. Yes, we're on over there. Yes, good. Lovely. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm and a very generous welcome to all of you who are here in the auditorium here at Regenesys. And of course, an equally warm and generous welcome to our audience who are watching us from around the world. This is Regenesys Business School, and today we are talking education. There can be few things as exciting as talking about education, because this could very well mark the beginning of an extremely exciting, dynamic and growing time and period in your life. My name is James Forson. I'm the Vice President looking after strategic relations at Regenesys, and it's my privilege to have a front row seat in talking about education today. As I look at all of you sitting over here, I am deeply envious of you. I'm so envious of you, because there are few things more exciting than someone standing on the brink of their education. The opportunities to learn, to grow, to master new knowledge, and to make an impact in the world. And you who are sitting here today or joining us online from around the world, you are in that position now. And my own memories of being in that position, it's just a wonderful place to be. And I salute you. I congratulate you for being here, because you are taking control of your life. You are making decisions. You're doing what's best for yourself and for your future. And the thing about education is it doesn't perish. Education doesn't decay. It doesn't decrease in value because of inflation. It can't wash away in a flood. It is there with you for life. And so this is our privilege to share this time with you, to tell us about what we do and how we can assist you on your journey in life. And of course, I also want to pay tribute to the parents, to the grandmothers, to the guardians who have supported you on the way to bring you to this point today. They've made tremendous sacrifices, and they are the ones who will stand next to you in this process going forward. And they are a very important part of your team, and we honor and respect them in this process. Education is so important. We need leaders in the world who are ethical, who are competent, who can make changes in our society. And we only have to look around us, not just in South Africa, but around the world. We're a little bit short on that. And so I don't want to put a burden on your shoulders now already, but there's big opportunity lying ahead for each one of you in making your way in the world. Now, you're here today at Regenesys Business School. You're either here in person or you are watching us from online over there. And Regenesys is all about education. Our offerings are certified at the very highest level by the Council of Higher Education. We meet and exceed their very stringent and onerous requirements. And we do that not because we have to, because that's what we do for our students. We're a global institution. We have campuses not just here in Sandton, we have campuses in Lagos, Nigeria, and in Mumbai in India. And this informs our worldview. We're not local, we are local in the sense that we are informed by different views, and we pass that on to our students because the world needs people like that. And of course, for some of you, this may be a little bit of surprise, but for us, we're very proud of this, is we are the largest business school in Africa. And that's not something to be taken lightly. So if you're here for education, Regenesys is the place to be. A very good place. You're taking control of your future, and you are aligning yourself for where you want to go in life. And I salute you for that. But you haven't come here to listen to me, because I am a little bit boring, and I'll acknowledge that. But let's talk about some logistics. We're going to have the important people. These are the important people over here. We're going to tell you about the courses and the programs, and they're going to answer all your questions over there. Now, with regard to questions. For questions in the room, we will take your questions afterwards at the end, and we will answer your questions. These people know everything, and they will give you that. For our folk online who are watching online, who are participating over there, at the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A block. Icon, click on that, ask your question. We have teams of specialists on standby who will step up and answer your question as you pose it over there. So, are we all ready for an afternoon of learning about education? And I see the thunderous applause and the Mexican wave are running through the room over here, and that's absolutely marvelous, and I do appreciate that. So, let's go on to the real things. This is why you're really here today. Let's go on to some of these things over here. And our first speaker today is the Dean. Dean is a very important part of a business school of a university because they stand in control of the entire education process. Mr. Sibongiseni Kumalo, and you'll meet him in a moment, is the Dean of Regenesys and has been with us since 2007. He's held various positions, senior positions, in areas of knowledge management, materials development, facilitation, master's research supervision, account management, and academic management. And those are all the things that make your learning experience exceptional. He's ensured the effective management, access, and maintenance of storage of knowledge in the form of learning materials, articles, research, case studies, assessments, and reports. And as a strong academic, he also facilitates extensively, that means lecturing in the classroom, and promotes academic quality at Regenesys. He has a Master of Arts in the Humanities from Rhodes University. He's about to graduate with a doctorate, and he's going to speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, the Dean of Regenesys, Sibongiseni Kumalo.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Regenesys. Thanks for the opportunity. It's an honor for me to stand in here and say a few words to you. Welcome to those who have joined us online. We excited to have you joining us, and around the room here, welcome. Hope you are having a good time with us. We are hoping to interact with you afterwards. So I won't spend too much time. Mine really is to share a few words with you. But if you can take anything out of, or if anything you can take out of what I'm going to say, it's really about how do you spot a Regenesys graduate? How do our graduates stand out there? What do they stand out for, or what do they stand for? Now, but before I get to that, just want to give a bit of context in terms of higher education institutions generally. We have a role to play, and Regenesys, among those being a private higher education institution, has a role to play in terms of transformation, social transformation, that is. So institutions of higher education or higher learning are agents of change. And so this change happens at various levels. Socially, we're agents of social change. Organizationally, in our different organizations, we are agents of that. We bring about change in our organizations in so many different ways. But also at an individual or personal level, we are those agents of change. And of course, I won't go into deeper details in as far as how that happens, but you'll get a sense of why I'm mentioning this. Because Regenesys is here to offer good quality education. But why do we do that? What does it all add up to? It's about that change I'm talking about at various levels. And it's about making the world a bit better, making the world a better place at so many various levels, many fields, etc. And of course, at Regenesys, having been in this space for over 2 decades now, we have a unique way in which we achieve this. We have what we call integrated sort of approach to learning. And this is the approach that takes into account that people are not just, physical human beings. There are many different intelligences. There are many different aspects that make up individuals. We don't talk only to the brain power. Of course, that's very important. In class, we do go through all that. But also we go through a different number of areas of development. We talk about emotional intelligence. We have enough intelligent people leading businesses in the world. But it's about time we talk about emotional intelligence of the leaders that we teach here, that come through our doors, graduates that come through our doors. We talk about spiritual intelligence here. My colleagues can expand on this. I'm just mentioning it. But the idea is, what does it all add up to? What's the bigger purpose for the things that we do? Right now, you may be considering studying, but why? What's the end game? What's the bigger picture? What is it adding up to? And of course, those are questions of all of us have those questions, to say, why do I exist? And what's the purpose? What's the true north? But I did say I'll tell you about how to spot a Regenesys graduate. Those of you who are considering us, and of course, we are going to help you decide this afternoon. The world right now, Mr. Fosun reflected on this. The world needs people who are able to solve problems, but problems aren't going to be solved because we want them to be solved. We need to be deliberate about this. So as institutions of higher learning, Regenesys in particular, has a responsibility to make sure that graduates that it churns out are able to think differently. So we teach about thinking. We help our students who eventually become graduates to think differently. And also to think about thinking. Because we're not going to achieve much if we don't change the way we think about things and the way in which we think about thinking. So that's an attribute that you'll notice in our graduates. They will come up with ways of looking at issues, and their solutions to the issues or problems will be somewhat unique. But also, I did talk about emotional intelligence, and here, as I said, we do have intelligent individuals who run big businesses, but who leave a trail of hate, a trail of blood, a trail of unhappiness, a trail of, corporate scandals, as we often see. So we need individuals who are able to lead consciously. And as Regenesys, we are committed to that, and we've observed this over the years, that our graduates stand out as people who are able to lead consciously. Again, this is not something we wish into existence, but it's something that we have weaved and embedded in our curriculum, in our modules, courses that we go through. In the way in which we engage with our students in class, the facilitation, Mr. Fosun talked about facilitating. Sometimes we lecture, but our approach to engaging our students is that of facilitating, in such a way that we bring up across this graduate attribute, which is lead consciously, being mindful, being aware of self, being aware of others, being aware of everything really around you, the environment included. So you will see our graduates would come across as people who are very aware of themselves, who are aware of their environments, who are aware of everything around them. And then, of course, we do assess, as part of education processes, we do assessments, assignments, and examinations. And we also still, through that process of assessment, bring about those graduate attributes or elements that help individuals realize, recognize, and be conscious of these attributes. Of course, we also need individuals who are able to deal with, or graduates who are able to deal with diversity. Our strength tends to lie in diversity. And that's sometimes, to some extent, you find graduates who are very well qualified, but who are not employable because they can't work with others. They can't deal with diversity. They are very comfortable with homogeneity. When it comes to diversity, they are not as effective. So our graduates here are very comfortable with that. In fact, they harness diversity. They go out of their way to harness diversity in so many different ways, interpersonal and intrapersonal space. But also, if you look at the world becoming small, you have to have diverse groups or teams or be able to work in such spaces. We now work virtually. How do we manage virtual teams who exist across the globe? So we bring awareness to those issues, and we embed this in our engagement with our students. So I thought I should mention this to you. All in all, there's about 6 of these. Maybe I won't mention all of them because of Mr. Fosun's time here. But we don't want graduates who go out there and we are confident that they are making the world better, when in fact they base their decisions on thumb sucking. So we want graduates who are very confident that decisions that they make are based on evidence. So it goes without saying, we'll teach our graduates how to conduct research, proper scientific research, so that when they go out there, they are able to apply these tools and techniques, the way of thinking, to help them make decisions, big decisions. Some of our graduates are out there in the public sector, in the business sector, prominent figures who are having, significant influence in terms of policy. And so we're hoping that, you will join them as well to be able to bring about this attribute I'm talking about. But also, before I sit down, we need an approach. Mr. Fosun mentioned the word glocal. I want to hang on that word. Our graduates are mindful of the glocal outlook. We want them to display that glocal outlook in their demeanor, in the way in which they engage at work, in the various communities or spaces where they exist. Because it's really about acknowledging the bigger world. It's really about acknowledging bigger contexts, but still act within your context. So those are the elements which we bring about when we engage, when we teach, when we design material that we give our study guides, have that embedded already in there. So our graduates are able to have that approach in life. But also, equally important, there are many graduate attributes, as you would know, but we settled for the few. Finally, I'll just mention the last one, which is how do they come across? How do our graduates come across? Obviously, this is not an art school. It's not a school of anything else, but it is Regenesys as you know it, made up of a number of schools, School of Public Management, Finance. As you'll hear my colleagues, they will introduce their schools and their programs. So we want a professional comportment from our graduates. We want them to come across as really professional. This is not only in the way in which they look, but it's in the way in which they engage. We want them to be able to stand their ground confidently and inspiring and are able to communicate with confidence. Because those are the people who are noticeable in the boardrooms, in social settings, and you name it. So those are our graduate attributes, and that's how you're going to notice our graduates out there. And I invite you to join those who have gone through our doors, who are out there making the world a better place. They are everywhere in the world, not only in South Africa. And also maybe just in passing, Mr. Fosun, to be opportunistic here, my colleagues may touch on this. There tends to be a myth that students online don't get as much support. My colleagues will talk about their programs and whether they are offered online or contact. But just to talk about student support, we are big on that. It's in our best interest to do so. We won't obviously do the assignments for the students, but we will support them, both administratively and academically. Those online, they will have tutors. Equally, those who are attending classes, full-time or face-to-face rather, they will get support from tutors, from senior academic, members here. We will support them. Over and above that, I want to mention something called ACE. ACE is, in short, stands for Academic Center of Excellence. We are relaunching that. We'll talk about it in our open day and give some more details there. But basically, that's a center that supports students who are transitioning. There are those students who are straight from high school who may need some hand-holding, some guidance, some support as to how to approach, the academic rigor, academic studies, and reading and writing and referencing and all those things. So we will support them in terms of literacy, English, etc. But also, there are those who've been out of the higher education space for the longest time, and they may feel a bit rusty. So we would equally, support them. But all our students will have access to this. So we pick on it, and we invite industry experts, part of support. We invite industry experts to come to class to deliver guest lectures. So you'll have access to a prominent industry leader who's invited to be part of a class. And so, in a nutshell, that's what we do to support our students. But my role here was to talk about how do you see a Regenesys graduate? And you may be one of those. And I wish you well in the decisions that you are going to make on the basis of tonight. And so I'll hand over now to Mr. Fosun to take it from here. Thank you.
Lovely. Yes, give some enthusiastic round of applause. Always a pleasure working with you, Dean. Always great. Always nice to be talking about these things. You've heard about these academic attributes. Those sound nice things, eh? Maybe you want that for yourself. Over here, you can get that for yourself. This comes part of the package over here. I see we've got some new visitors in the room today. Hearty welcome to you. Thank you for being here. We're so pleased you can join us. And to our folk out there online, we haven't forgotten about you at all whatsoever. You're very much part of the family, and keep those questions coming in the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screens over there. Dean mentioned a number of things inside of this conversation over here, and one of them was diversity. And if you look at this lot over here, you think that we're not very diverse because it seems like the patriarchy is very powerful over here. No, patriarchy is very powerful, but don't be perturbed, because we do have very powerful women in the organization at all levels of the organization, and a lot of them are doing other important things at the moment, equally as important as what it is to be here with you today. And that's why we're a little bit thin on the ground with female presenters over here, but what we make up in small numbers, we make up with dynamic, forceful presentation. And so we're going to hear now about the undergraduate programs here at Regenesys, and to tell us about that is Patience Nyoni, our female on the panel today. Patience is a chartered marketer. She's, after working in stints at a marketing manager in Malawi and in business development for a staffing firm, she joined Regenesys after serving CTI Education Group as its international student advisor. And Ms. Nyoni is currently a doctoral candidate at Regenesys Business School, and she's going to tell us about the undergraduate programs on offer over here. Patience, over to you. Lovely.
Thank you, James. I'm not sure if the presentation is going to come. If not, I'm just going to go without the presentation. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening and welcome, everyone. Welcome to the world of business management, where your mindset are going to be changed, perceptions are going to be changed, attitudes, behaviors are going to be changed. So I'm here to give you, or maybe to just give you an overview of some of our undergraduate qualifications that we have under the business management school or under our business faculty. You should be anxious about your future. Maybe you have just finished your qualification, your matric, or maybe your previous qualification. You are looking for opportunities to upgrade your qualification or to actually start your career path. So I'm here to just give you a brief overview of how Regenesys is a solution. Definitely, Regenesys is a solution to your beautiful problem. We are here to guide you, to handhold you, and give you more information so that you can make an informed decision. What are some of the programs that we have under our undergraduate faculty? We have 6 qualifications, 3 higher certificate programs, and 3 bachelor's qualifications programs. For our higher certificate programs, we have higher certificate in business management, higher certificate in business management in retail management, higher certificate in business management in credit management. So as you can see, from the 3 higher certificates, we have a general qualification, which is the higher certificate in business management, which is going to give you a foundational information on how to navigate in the business arena. And then we have 2 specialized higher certificate, that is the retail management one and the credit banking. So they will formulate for you a base for you to get skills that are critical in the general business management and also in the banking sector or any financial industry and also in the retail industry. You can see that looking at the perspective of our country, South Africa, we actually have a shortage when it comes to skills. We are actually in need of qualified graduates. So that's exactly what we are trying to do as an institution to make sure that you have the relevant qualifications. Okay, sorry. Okay, and then for our bachelor's qualifications, we have 3 bachelor's qualifications. These are directly aligned to the higher certificates programs that I've just articulated. 1, we have got Bachelor of Business Administration, then Bachelor of Business Administration in Banking, Bachelor of Business Administration in Retail Management, So these qualifications, you'd find that they are actually directly aligned to the higher certificate. So somebody can actually complete their higher certificate in business management and progress to the bachelor's in business administration. So they give you strength, or they give you skills that can help you to be competent in the general or in the corporate business arena. And then the BBA in banking, it also gives you advanced skills for you to navigate in the financial industry or also in the banking industry, which is fast changing. And you'd find that we really need competent and skilled individuals that will be able to take the banks or any financial institution to the next level. Looking, for example, at how technology has changed, the banking sector. And those are some of the things that we are going to learn in the classroom. Application is actually going to be done in the learning arena, as well as your assignments. We don't just focus on theory, but we focus on application. What you're learning, you'll be able also to apply it in the working environment. We also have, finally, Bachelor of Business Administration in Retail Management, which is also a very interesting sector, which is actually continuously growing and has been affected again by technology. And you'd find that we are there to help you to get advanced skills that will help you to navigate in the retail industry. Look at how COVID has actually disrupted the retail industry. And we do not have people with adequate or the right skills. So it's very important for you to get the right skill that will help you to be able also not only to get professional advancement, but also for you to be competent, for you to be confident. I always say, we want our graduates to be relevant. Gone are the days of a yes manager. You cannot make a decision for yourself because you're not equipped. So our qualifications and our teaching and learning methodology equips you to be very competent and to be able to make strategic decisions that will be able to advance your organization to the next level and yourself also as an individual. Okay, sorry. All right. And then just an overview of our higher certificates. As I have indicated, they give you foundational framework of how to navigate either in the general business management or in the banking sector or in the retail industry. These are 1 year qualification. How beautiful is that? So some of you may be sitting here, you are already working. Maybe you are even a manager, but you don't have the qualification. We have a solution for you. In a year, you will be able to acquire a qualification. So join us for any one of these programs that we have. And then a maximum of 2 years. But of course, try to finish your qualification in record time. As James has indicated, that all our qualifications, they are accredited. So Regenesys is not a fly-by-night institution. We are aspiring for global excellence. So as the Dean has indicated, we actually have a global footprint, and we are very cautious to make sure that we maintain the integrity of our brand and we ensure that we also have that global mark by delivering quality. And then for our bachelor's qualification, 3 years, that is the minimum time that you need to complete the qualification. Of course, 3 years may seem like a lifetime, but believe you me, before you know it, 3 years will be done, because our classes, they are very engaging, interactive, and you get an opportunity to network with people from all different walks of life. And then a maximum of 5 years. Okay, sorry. Oh, all right, sorry, just a quick break. Okay, and then why should you join Regenesys qualification? So some of you, I think that's the golden question. There are so many institutions out there, but why Regenesys? As the Dean has indicated, Regenesys is one of the few institutions that focuses on branding its future graduates. Why is it important? Because we want to give you a competitive advantage. We want you to be able to be relevant. We want you to be able to compete effectively in the competitive job market. We know what is the unemployment rate here in South Africa. It's very high. we are looking at around 34.5. What does that mean? It means you really need to be, to be differentiated for you to penetrate that market. So a branded student because of our graduate attributes. We also have an opportunity to apply what you are learning. It's not just about theory at Regenesys. You'd find that our assignments, we ensure that they are applied so that you are able to apply what you are learning in the industry. We also have well-qualified faculty for the different faculties. So you'd find that we have a diversity of facilitators and also holding different qualifications from doctoral and also up to master's qualifications. So it means you are in safe hands. It's actually so consoling to know that you'll be in the comfort of somebody who will be able to take you through your academic journey with the right knowledge. They are not only coming on board with academic knowledge, they also have industry experience so that they'll bridge the gap between the academic world and the industry arena. The dean also spoke about our support system. We have an integrated support system in place. Why is it important for us as an institution? We know that it can be really, intimidating to get in a new environment. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to expect. The least you can expect is to have somebody who is going to show you around. Regenesys, we have taken time to have a well-defined department that is going to support you academically from an administrative perspective, and also all the academics from the different faculties, they are there to support you. So that's also a bonus for you to join Regenesys. You are also going to have an opportunity to network. Regenesys, we are privileged to have students coming from all different walks of life. We actually have high profile, individuals that are students, that are part of our student body. What does that mean for you? It's an opportunity for you to network academically and also for entrepreneurial reasons. As Regenesys, we are not just developing you to fit through the job market. We are also developing you to be a future entrepreneur so that you can employ other people and help us to solve some of the socio-economic problems that we have in South Africa. So there is a networking opportunity. We also have flexible ways of learning. So you may say, I'm working, I don't have time to be attending the full-time classes. We also have the online classes. We also have the weekend classes. So there is actually, flexibility in learning. We also have recorded classes. In the event that you miss your class, don't panic. Classes are recorded. You will be able to access the recorded classes during your own spare time in the comfort of your home and still go through the same learning material, same quality, and be up to the mark with the rest of the class, members. So those are some of the benefits why you should join Regenesys, and we are there to support you. At Regenesys, you are not just a number, but you are very special. Each and every one of you, you are very special. We take you seriously and we make sure that we deliver quality. And also, what are some of the entry requirements that are needed for you to be able to enroll in any of our undergraduate programs? For the higher certificates, you need to have matric certificate with the certificate endorsement or diploma endorsement. And of course, we also apply the admission criteria that is stipulated by the admission policies stipulated by the Council on Higher Education. So somebody may also be having other qualifications that may not be a higher certificate in business management. We also review and evaluate your other qualifications. For the bachelor's qualifications, it's senior's a matric certificate with a degree endorsement. We also look at age exemption, 45 years and above. We have got good news for you. It's never too late for anyone. education should actually be everyone's lifestyle. You can start learning at any point. So 45 plus, we don't even ask you for a matric. For example, maybe you don't have the matric certificate. We just need your ID, and then you apply for the age exemption certificate from the matriculation body. Are we doing that for convenience as Regenesys? No. We are actually aligning ourselves to the policies stipulated by Council on Higher Education. We also have the matriculation body that can be used by foreign students holding foreign qualifications. They can evaluate your qualification and benchmark it to the matric certificate, and then that can be used for your as your entry point or access to our qualifications. Students also holding foreign qualifications, you can also use SAQA to apply for your SAQA evaluation. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I look forward to seeing you around. Regenesys is a wonderful place, and I'm telling you, a lot of lights are going to be switched on. It's only that I came a little bit late. Normally, I love to watch people when they're walking in. You know, when students are joining us for the first time, I always say, you were walking like a defeated soldier. There was no purpose. But after Regenesys qualification, you see transformation. Our education is transformational. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you.
Transformation, indeed transformation. Thank you very much, Mr. Nyoni. Thank you for sketching out those complex qualifications. We have a whole myriad. If you can't find something there that's going to make a difference in your life, then I think you're being a little bit difficult in the process, because these are focused, directed programs to make an impact in society. Now, you've been bewildered by all these various programs we offer. You've seen them on the screen over here. But Regenesys is not just a business school. Inside the school, there are a number of other schools inside that. And one of these is the School of Finance. It's one of the bespoke, sought-after areas of Regenesys. And they, inside the School of Finance, offer the BComp qualification. It's one of the most sought-after, most powerful, most dynamic qualifications out there in business. And we're going to hear more about that, and we're going to hear more about it from Dr. Ngoni Shuro. He's a facilitator in the School of Finance here at Regenesys. He brings over 20 years experience from the world of academia as well as the corporate world. He's a chartered accountant, and he holds a PhD in accounting, focusing on financial governance from the University of Pretoria. The University of South Africa. He has a master's in accountancy from KwaZulu-Natal, and he's a number of other qualifications. But his prime interest, amongst many other things which he teaches, is financial governance, and we really can't do with too few people in that place. It's a very important place. To tell you more about the BComp qualification, the School of Finance, Dr. Ngoni Shuro. There we go, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Regenesys. I'm going to take you to answer one question to say, why join us in the School of Finance to do Bachelor of Accounting? I think that's what's the biggest question, to say what makes Regenesys unique to other universities and other business schools. Our program basically focuses on developing a professional accountant. What is a professional accountant? A professional accountant is one who has got the attributes in the market which are sought by at the moment, which is integrity. Integrity has become key element in the accounting profession. And that is what we provide. That is what we have incorporated in the curriculum. Above all, what we aim to produce. We don't aim to produce a graduate, but we aim to produce a professional. At the end of the 3 years, we believe that we would have developed you, assisted you to become a professional who can compete in the market. That is what's critical. That is what's important with our degree, what we offer. The other element which we have is to say, why Regenesys? Why would a person come to Regenesys? I think the Dean has emphasized on it. Our support, which we give to the students, is exceptional. There's little difference between an online student and a conduct student. For online student, it's always technology, which we most, the younger guys and us also, the older guys have tended to appreciate. So our turnaround time in terms of communication is at a higher level. And we have got support staff which support the students, the facilitator, and also the student support. So we have got 3 levels of support. So if you're not happy anyway, you just send an email. We have got also WhatsApp groups which students are in, and also as facilitators, student support are in those groups. If anything happens or anything you want, you just communicate there. The other element which we have got is also the global perspective. Our qualification is up to scratch. We also do all the necessary technical standards. We cover them in the program. And lastly, but not least, the other issue is that what are the components, the main components in the program? There are the 4 elements, which is financial accounting, auditing, management, taxation. But there are other support courses which we give so that we produce at the end of the day a professional, not a graduate, but we aim to produce a professional who walk through to anywhere and be able to work. And the other important thing is that we are accredited by Cyber, and we can go online to see what are the qualities of Cyber, what is expected is a professional body for accountants, which is competing also in the market currently. So on that, if there are no questions from the floor, I'll give it back to John.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that overview. And just because it was short doesn't mean this is an easy course. It's a difficult one. It's a tough one. But when you're out there, boy, people queue outside to come and offer you jobs over there. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Dr. Shuro. We've heard about Regenesys Business School, the undergraduate courses. We've heard about the School of Finance. And now we're going to hear about the School of Law. It's one of our newest innovations over here. And the demand for this qualification has just been outstripping everything. It's been absolutely amazing. And we're going to hear about it, what happens in the School of Law from Advocate Kevin Malunga. He's the Dean of the school. And he's served South Africa in a variety of different roles. He's been Deputy Public Protector. He's been Acting Chief of Staff in the Office of the Chief Justice. He's been an advisor on state law policy. He's served on the boards of Sovereign Rating South Africa. He's been on the board of the South African Qualifications Authority. He's been International Advisory Board member for Stellenbosch University's Business School. He's been a psychic examiner. He's a lecturer at both WITS and KwaZulu-Natal. And he's a trustee of the Black Lawyers Association Legal Education Center. He's an advocate of the High Court, and he belongs to the American Society of International Law. I've got a feeling he knows a little bit about law. His academic qualifications are equally stunning as an LLB from the University of Natal, a master's in international legal studies from Georgetown University in the United States, and is about to graduate with a doctorate in juridical science from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And he's going to tell us about what happens here at the School of Law. Advocate Kevin Malunga.
Thank you very much, James. It's now evening. Good evening to our guests, both in person actually and online. You are in the right place today. I must emphasize that. And of course, I want to acknowledge the Dean of Regenesys Law School, Mr. Sibongiseni Khumalo, and of course, the MC, and of course, my colleagues on the academic team. This is a new school, entirely new school. So, but because it's new, I made the example the other day that you probably do know the pleasure of wearing new shoes and a new suit, getting into a new car, you know, with the smell of the seats. That's what we're offering you right now with the new School of Law. It is and also because it is new does not mean that it is a program that doesn't have quality. We have undergone a very rigorous accreditation process by the Council on Higher Education that is known as the CHE in South Africa. and registered by the South African Qualifications Authority. Of course, as James has indicated, I have a history with SAQA myself, having sat on that board. So I know for a fact that the processes to go through SAQA are not easy. So it's a qualification that is now stamped and ready to go, right? And I always say, I could just sit down after that, because that's what you need for a qualification to be able to use it in South Africa, in other words, and of course, internationally. But now, why did we go the law route? You know, law, as I keep on saying, you know, it intersects with every aspect of life that you can imagine. You may not have thought about it, but everything that you did today is legally regulated. Even the relationship that you have with your wife and your children, your dog, it is legal. It's a legal relationship. And I say that, you know, in jest, but there's a serious side to it, in the sense that it governs every aspect of our life, family, finances, shelter, and many other things that we do, including the world of business that is historically the mainstay of this institution. So, and people often lack the information. People try and do their own legal work, but often they lack the information needed to resolve problems effectively on their own. And frequently they need the assistance of lawyers and other professionals. As I said, truth be told, the law affects every facet of your life, and it's there in everything we do. Whether we're driving, whatever we do. So many of, I've said before, many of the world's biggest and smallest problems are ultimately legal problems, whether you're dealing with climate change, marriages, divorces, emissions from motor vehicles, you know, energy, whatever it is a legal issue ultimately. When you are born, you have to be registered in terms of the law. When you marry, when you die, whatever, everything, your estates, wills, succession, property, when you buy a property, everything is, all that is legal. So that's why we need a law degree that is unique, and Regenesys sought to enter the space. And however, the Regenesys degree is not business as usual. As I said, it's accredited by the Council on Higher Education, and it will provide robust training in legal practice of the highest standard. And of course, very important that we latch onto what the Dean and others have said about the emphasis on ethics, personal purpose, and spiritual and emotional intelligence, which are uniquely Regenesys qualities. And of course, you have seen the theater that comes from lawyers on TV, whether it's, I won't name names, but you have seen the various cases, Senzo Meyiwa case, etc., where people have wondered, is this what lawyers are like? And we are saying that no, that's not how lawyers should be. We want to produce cutting edge, top of the range, sharp, ethical lawyers who are, you know, in charge of their emotional intelligence, physical intelligence, social intelligence, and all the other values that Regenesys espouses. And of course, the program is a 4-year program, 480 credits at NQF level 8. The method of delivery will be contact and online. And as I said, this is the LLB is the qualification recognized for the practice of law in South Africa and in many other jurisdictions around the world. So when you graduate with your LLB, you will decide what you want to do with it. You want to be an attorney, you want to be an advocate, you will write the board exams of those designated professional authorities, whether in South Africa or the country that you may be watching me from. If you are not watching me from South Africa right now, we have taught, and over the years, students from various other countries who go and practice in their own countries afterwards. But the Legal Practice Council, we always get the question, is it recognized for the practice of law? And the admission requirements for legal practitioners are in the Legal Practice Act. And what is clear there is that you need an academic qualification. There's an LLB in terms of Section 26 of the Legal Practice Act, which says that a person qualifies to be admitted and enrolled as a legal practitioner if that person has satisfied all the requirements for the LLB obtained at any university registered in the Republic. And then, of course, an LLB obtained in a foreign country that has been endorsed by SAQA. I won't go into the long detail, but there's so many career paths in law. You can be an administrative lawyer, you can be an advocate, arbitrator, attorney, case manager, you can be a judge, you can be a legal advisor, legal researcher, magistrate, mediator, paralegal, registrar, the list goes on and on. You don't even have to be a lawyer. It's a thinking tool that allows you to understand how society works. But for now, I think this is the time for people who want to be the best lawyers on the African continent to come to this program. Thank you very much.
There we go. There's a challenge for you. Become the best lawyer on the African continent, and you can do it here. Thank you very much, Advocate Kevin Malunga. And to our audience out there, we haven't forgotten about you. We still love you. Stay online. I hope you're asking the questions and your questions are being answered over there. And we have not by any means come to the end of our conversation this evening. So let's continue with this. And now we're going to hear from a different school inside Regenesys. The conversation up till now has always been about business, finance, law. It sounds sort of private sector-ish. Private sector, law, etc., finance. But we have to remember that there's another component that we can't miss out as well too in any society, is in fact public management, the public sector, the public service. We need those people just as much as we need people in the private sector. And more than ever, we need people who are ethical, competent, smart, bright, go-getting people inside that. And so let's hear a little bit more about the School of Public Management here at Regenesys. And to tell us about it is Henk Dedricks. Henk is I've got to find the right place in my notes over here. I've got so many notes over here. I'm getting confused in my old age here. He's the Deputy Chief Academic Officer. He has over 15 years extensive experience in the corporate, or rather in the private education space. He's managed tertiary education campuses, he's managed FET colleges, and a variety of corporate programs. He has a BCom's honors degree in industrial and organizational psychology, and is about to finish his MBA. In addition, he has a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from the University of Pretoria, a Bachelor of Commerce and honors in industrial and organizational psychology from UNISA. And he's going to tell us about what happens in the world of public management. Henk Dedricks.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Forson, for that very well detailed introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to stand before you tonight and to briefly speak to you about the School of Public Management and the public sector in South Africa. Now, the public sector, as we all know, plays a crucial role in South Africa in providing critical services to us all and implementing policies that affect each and every one of our daily lives. It plays a vital role in our healthcare system, our education, with the matric results having been released today, our infrastructure development. Obviously, I do not have to tell you too much more about that with the current challenges we're experiencing with Eskom. And in social welfare, where it provides to the most vulnerable individuals in our society. With all this in mind, it's clear that the public sector is the backbone of our country. And in the end, it is each and every one of our duties to ensure that it is supported and that it can provide these critical services. However, it is no secret that we are experiencing a number of challenges in the public sector, specifically due to, unfortunately, corruption, which is the dreaded C word in our country, as well as inefficiency, infighting, and a lack of capacity. Now, the government has implemented a number of programs to address these challenges, but unfortunately, there is still a long way to go. It is estimated currently that in the public sector, corruption has cost this country over 1.5 trillion rand over the past 3 years. I'll say that again, 1.5 trillion rand has been lost due to corruption over the past 3 years. And it's estimated that it also has cost this country over 4% of its gross domestic product annually. Now, this obviously has a massive impact on our society, on our growth, on inflation, and in general, the morale of the people of this country. So we as Regenesys have decided we are not going to sit back and just accept this. We at Regenesys are going to be the agents of change. We are going to challenge the status quo and drive change through education. Currently, the public sector comprises about 14% of South Africa's formal employment sector. That comes out to roughly 1.3 million people are employed in the public sector. And this figure grows by an estimated 6% annually. Regenesys, with over 20 years of experience, has been supplying employees to this sector and hopes to do so for the foreseeable future. Currently, we have over 1,300 registered students just in the School of Public Management. These students, you will find, are not just online. We actually go to the people. We provide courses and lectures to students in the far reaches of Mpumalanga, in the far reaches of Limpopo. We generally go to the rural areas and assist these students who may be challenged in accessing our education framework. My apologies. Our alumni includes, without naming any names, our alumni does include ministers, MECs, as well as local government officials, including mayors, both past and present. So how are we at Regenesys going to address these challenges? Ladies and gentlemen, we offer a well-articulated program of portfolio of qualifications within the public sector. These include a higher certificate in public management, which addresses the fundamental areas required for you to enter the public sector. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the entry requirements of these, as I think my colleague, Ms. Nyoni, has covered most of the entry requirements already. Then we offer a 3-year bachelor degree in public management. This is for those of you wanting to enter or are currently working in the public sector and would like to become involved in the management aspects. Then we offer, for those of you already working, sorry, our presentation seems to be on the fritz. For those of you already working in the public sector, whether it be in nursing, education, any area of the public sector, and you have already completed a diploma or a certificate and would like to enter into postgraduate programs, we offer you the opportunity to bridge your current qualifications and offer you access into the postgraduate sphere by completing a national diploma in public administration. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a 15-month program and is aimed at those of you wanting to enter the postgraduate sphere and allows you to build on your current qualifications. Once you've completed your NQF level 7 qualifications, whether it be the Bachelor in Public Management or the National Diploma in Public Administration, we then offer you the opportunity to complete a postgraduate diploma in public management and also a master's in public management. These qualifications are aimed at those of you wanting to manage at a strategic level within the public sector and to grow your qualification portfolio. We are also currently investigating the possibility of offering a doctorate in public management. And for those of you entering this program, there's every chance that you may actually be able to obtain a doctorate once you are complete, or once you have completed your other postgraduate qualifications. With that being said, I thank you for your time. I hand back over to Mr. Forson, who will tell you about our further qualifications.
Thank you, thank you. I always get nervous when people call me Mr. Forson because it sounds like I'm in trouble. So I probably am, but I'm living in hope of that. The lovely overview of our School of Public Management, and it's such an important part of what we do and the service we provide to the world out there. To our audience online, definitely, we're still with you. Listen, don't go away. We're still underway. There's still more things to talk about. We've been talking about largely at the undergraduate level, the first courses, even in the School of Finance and in the School of Law, advanced degrees. But we also offer advanced qualifications over here. And that is these are flagship programs. These are the things that differentiate us from other people inside this. And so we're going to hear about that from Dr. Barry van der Westhuizen. And like many of the people at Regenesys, he's got a background both as an academic as well as a business person. So he straddles that line. He's not talking from a textbook, he's talking because he's been in the position. Prior to being with us here at Regenesys, he was heading the Graduate Institute of Management and Technology at a business school, as well as at Milton Park Business School, and he was also looking after the postgraduate business programs. He's a former Air Force officer, and he's worked as a consultant to business, and he's held various directorships in a variety of companies, and he holds a doctorate in strategy implementation and business management. So he's a good person to tell us about the postgraduate qualifications at Regenesys. Dr. Barry van der Westhuizen, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As mentioned, my name is Dr. Barry van der Westhuizen. So firstly, let me say welcome to all future entrepreneurs and business leaders. That's what this whole postgraduate journey is all about. So I'm not a politician, but I have to start off by quoting Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said, "I have a dream." Ladies and gentlemen, we all have a dream. You have a dream. And that's why you're here. And that's why we want you here. None of us want to go onto the postgraduate path and do all the blood, sweat, and tears to come second. The Navy SEALs always say that second is first last. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not in the business of being first last. We are highly competitive. We give you the best. Often people talk about the business school as being a place where we feed you water from a fire hydrant. And that is true. It's very, very true. However, why go through the selection process, come out being one of the erudite few, only to walk away second best? What do we offer you? We offer you a very holistic education. And as my colleagues have mentioned, bump into any of our graduates, I challenge you, you're going to find a very complete individual. The Elon Musks of this world are complete. And there are people from the less fortunate side of business, lots of them. But we don't strive to do that. We strive to build ethical achievers. That's really what we're about. So if you want to be a gold medalist, do the postgraduate diploma, do the MBA, by all means, do the doctorate, please do. Come out here and be a top leader. What further do we offer? We've got the finest academics from Africa to India. You're going to get diverse input, very different thought patterns that will challenge the very seat you sit in. So it's not a laissez-faire class. Every person that comes in and that's handpicked to join our courses are thinkers, they challenge, they forward think, they leaders. And the academics, no academic load shedding, no ESCOM. We are here full-time, on tap for you. And whether you're online or face-to-face, you can reach out and get in contact with us at any point in time. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your future. Please join us. We welcome you with open arms. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm sure you all want to sign up for a doctorate right on the spot now. I can see that. It's been lovely talking to you, and we have been talking to you. We've been pushing lots of information over, which is a little bit alien to our style because we go for a very participative approach to working with students and working with people who are on a journey of learning. But now the time is for you to ask questions here. We have a roving mic over here, which one of our clever people at the back will take around the room. So now's the time to ask any question. Just don't ask them what the exchange rate is going to be in 6 months' time because they don't know either. But anything else, you can ask them about that. So this is the time for questions, something on your heart. And remember, no question is too small or stupid. It's a stupid question that leads to the fascinating answer. So don't think, oh, I don't think I could ask that. Ask the question. Be bold. Seize the moment. Now is your moment. Who have we got here? Yes, ma'am. Lovely. Yes. Tell us your name and tell us what you want to talk about.
I just wanted clarity for somebody that still wanted to continue with econ law. Do you guys offer it? Because during your presentation you didn't speak about it. That's the first question. Second question is, if I'm coming from a different institution of econ law and I want to transition into LLB, does it mean I need to start from scratch, or are you going to credit me?
Thank you very much. The first question is, no, we do not offer a BCom law stream. I think that's something that's in the pipeline and our future plans, but we don't. Secondly, we do provide exemptions and credits for courses done elsewhere. But in terms of obviously CHE guidelines and Regenesys policies, and which is something that is almost uniform in all institutions around the country and of course even around the world, we don't credit people for courses that they did more than 5 years before. So your credits must be relatively new. So it cannot be credits done in 1978, for example, because you'll have forgotten the law then, and the law was different at that time. But certainly something that you did in 2022, we will definitely give you credits. Of course, the policy is also that we can only credit you a maximum of 50% of your of the Regenesys degree. We can't give you more than that. Thank you very much.
I hope that's gone some way towards addressing your thing. Who's next? Who's the next contestant? There we go. Step up. Go ahead, sir. You're online and speak to the nation.
Mine is more of a statement than a question. I want to say that I'm quite excited to be joining the Regenesys loved what I've heard, and I'm ready to get to work and to create the necessary change that we can move our country forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that very positive and an inspirational contribution, and we look forward to welcoming you and speaking to you on our campus. And who's next? Now's your chance. Ask the question. See if you can outfox them. Ask them a question they can't answer. See if you can get it right. Anybody else? Come. You know, it's always when these folk lecture and they dynamic and they put things in the thing, and then people don't ask questions afterwards. They all feel a little bit crestfallen because they feel they haven't hit the mark over there. But I'm just trying to guilt you into getting a response out of you. I'm reading the room and I'm not seeing that you want to ask questions right now. That doesn't mean that you don't have a question. It doesn't mean that you have to not have your question answered. You know where we are. You can come and bring the question at any time. Come and visit us on campus. We'd love to have you. We have a lovely cafeteria here that offers superb cappuccinos, by the way. And we will have people online over here. And so to all of you online and present in the room, I want to thank you. And I want to end with a couple of personal messages to you. And now I'm speaking to every one of the potential students in this room, and I'm speaking to you out there as a potential student, wherever you are in Africa or around the world. You are precious. Every one of you are precious. And these folk over here take you very seriously. They will hold your learning in the palm of their hands. They will make sure that you get what you need to get to the place. It's not just a matter of a lecture and walk out and eat on your own. They will carry you through the process because you are precious. It's deep in the DNA of our organization that everybody matters. We care about people. People are important. And we have this burden to make the world a better place. And the only way that we are going to make the world a better place, we make you a better person. And that's what we do. So yes, we give you degrees, we give you qualifications, and you wear funny clothes when you go up on the platform and you get your graduation. That's very important and very exciting and very inspirational. But we want to make you a better person so that you can leave your footprint in the world. And that is what we offer to you. And we take it seriously because you are precious, you are important, and you are significant to us in our environment. Think about that in your deliberations, because it's your decision at the end of the day whether you come to Regenesys. We'd love to have you, but it's got to be right for you, and we will look after you every step of the way. But as they say in the TV adverts, that's not all. That's not all. There are other things over here, because we're going to do a similar thing on Saturday. We've got another open day session over here, which will cover very similar topics to what we've been talking about here. And maybe you have a question by then. But we will also be having a special guest here. Proverb, the well-known influencer and celebrity, will be online. And he's a student, one of the many students here at Regenesys who are in the public face. And he will be telling you directly about his own experience, Proverb's own experience of being a student over here. And you will be able to ask him questions, what it's really like to be a student, because we can tell you all the nice things over here. Speak to him about that over here. It's happening here on Saturday, the 21st of January. That's a Saturday coming up now at 10 o'clock. But it's been a long afternoon. Most of you have been at work and doing other things. It's time to brave the roads, trying to get home in the evening. We've loved having you here. Thank you for coming to our house. We're pleased that you've been in our house. We've loved you. We honor your presence over here, and we look forward to the next time we're here. All of us over here, we wish you well. Wherever your career goes, whether it's Regenesys or anywhere else in the world, we know that you will be successful, you will be powerful, and you will make a difference in the world. Thank you so much. Good night to you all. And of course, if you have any other questions, you can, on the way out, we can socialize and deal with that as well. So don't worry about it. Lovely. Thank you very much. It's been nice.